Hey guys, it's BoffyRocks playing an interesting little game that I found on Steam called the Stanley Parable. If you're into indie games, you might have heard about this one. I think it came out in 2013, so it's a little old now, but it looks super interesting to me, and it's kind of trippy as shit because it's like infinitesimally going forward into the computer screen. As you can see, I'm wearing some glasses today. These are actually my Gunners by Razer. I think these are the Cerberus model. I kind of acknowledge that I spend most of my entire life looking at a computer screen between work and playing games on my own and watching TV and doing this stuff for you guys and all sorts of other things. So decided to invest in some good glasses to help contrast that. If you guys want to hear a review or my personal opinions of them, go ahead and leave a comment down below. I'd love to do that. This is my first day. In fact, I've only had them on for a couple hours, so completely new. I'm going to see if they make a difference. So far, they feel like they do, but at the same time, maybe that's just the same way light feels when you pull sunglasses off and everything is like super bright. All right, anyway, let's go ahead and begin the game. This looks really interesting to me. End is never the end is never the end is never the end is loading. Loading? I think we found the end, guys. The end is never the end. The end is loading. Oh, God. Or never the end is loading. Is never the end loading. Or is never the end is. That doesn't work. That doesn't work. Let's just wait for it to load. It is taking a very long time to load. Is that part of the game? Because my computer's much faster than this. Is this part of the game? Do I need to click the loading screen? Apparently not. Apparently clicking the loading screen is not the correct course of action here. Sitting here and waiting and watching that slow progress bar. It's not even moving. This is nonsense. Is this seriously part of the game? Oh wow, that went a lot faster. I look up at the camera and I look back down and it's like a watch pot, never boils. Loading bar never freaking moves when you're looking. Oh yeah, see, and it stopped again. I'm gonna look up at the camera, and then I'm gonna look back down, and it's gonna be okay. It didn't move. Okay, it moved that time. I saw that one. Oh, okay. Sorry, it just seemed to take a very long time.
This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on the keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy.
The fuck?
And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
I'm a floating head, guys. There's nothing there. I am totally freaking floating. Whoa, and I can move fast. Okay, well. Alrighty. Yeah. Let's venture out, shall we?
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
I don't want to go to the meeting room. Okay, hey, hang on real quick. Let's see if I can turn on subtitles. Full captions versus subtitles. Full captions. Let's do full captions. Alright. Full captions are on. Sweet. So where am I supposed to be going again? Conference meeting or whatever? Did that... What the hell? What does it say? I hate Mondays. How original. Okay. Where am I supposed to be going?
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Did I? I think I entered the door on my right.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
So, is that just the way the game works? Like, they take everything you do and change it to make it look like that was the intention?
Yes, truly a room worth admiring. It had really been worth the detour after all, just to spend a few moments here in this immaculate, beautifully constructed room.
Okay.
Stanley simply stood here, drinking it all in.
Why are cans of soda so expensive in the games I've been playing lately? It was like $1.75 in Outlast, and it's $1.25 here.
Yes, really, really worth it being here in the room.
Yes, it is.
A room so utterly captivating that even though all your co-workers have mysteriously vanished, here you sit looking at these chairs and some paintings.
Oh, there's
Really
paintings?
worth it.
Oh, hey, paintings. Yes. Soak it in, guys. It is the ocean. I can't zoom in on it, but if
At this point, Stanley's obsession with this room bordered on creepy and reflected poorly on his overall personality. It's possible that this is why everyone left.
Oh, everyone left because I'm creepy? Like, the entire office building evacuated because I play a creepy character who likes being in the break room?
Stanley sat around waiting for more dialogue, but when a long time had passed and there was no more, he decided that the game was trying to send him a message.
By not sending me a message, are you sending me a message? Oh, that's misleading. That was some dialogue that you said that I wasn't gonna get. I like this game. Although I have a feeling that was the last one. Unless there's one more coming. Watch there not be one more coming, and I'm just waiting for it. Let's watch the clock, shall we? See if the clock speeds up at all. Does it move at all? Does it account for the real passage of time? That would be awesome if it did.
It appears to be actually moving. That's actually really cool. The game is totally sending me a message. Okay, let's leave.
But at last, he'd had enough of the amazing room and took the first open door on his left to get back to business.
Yeah, right I did. Oh, it's a
Stanley was
drafting
so bad
table.
at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
It's a drafting table. That's really cool. I like that. Old school. Where am I going? I know I should have taken the first left, but I didn't. And so now we're over here.
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here.
You think
I'm
so,
not
huh?
your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking for me, I'm asking for her.
For her? Ooh, who is that? Omnipotent narrator voice.
This is it, Stanley. Your chance to redeem yourself, to put your work aside, to let her back into your life. She's been waiting.
What in the world?
That's her, Stanley. You need to be the one to do this, to reach out to her. If
Fine, I'll pick up the phone. What?
Oh, Stanley, is that you? Hold on, sweetie. Sorry to keep you waiting. I'm just pulling the bread out of the oven. All right. Okay, there we go. All right, now, I want you to come in and tell me all about your day.
Gotcha! Oh,
Really?
Come on. Did you actually think you had a loving wife who'd want to commit their life to you? I'm trying to make a point here, Stanley. I'm trying to get you to see something.
That you can put
Come
creepy
inside.
mannequins in front of
Let
me?
me show you what's really going on here.
Mr. Omnipotent Narrator, like, what?
This is a very sad story about the death of a man named Stanley.
Hi, mannequin. Good morning, employee 427. Press 6 on your keyboard.
Stanley is quite a boring fellow. He has a job that demands nothing of him, and every button that he pushes is a reminder of the inconsequential nature of his existence.
I don't want to press 0.
Look at him there, pushing buttons, doing exactly what he's told to do. Now he's pushing a button. Now he's eating lunch. Now he's going home. Now he's coming back to work. One might even feel sorry for him, except that he's chosen this life.
No. Y. Press Y. Press I. Is there a comparable option to U? I refuse to obey. This is pretty anticlimactic. It's like completely silent. I like the desk though. I mean, it's in bad shape, but otherwise it's a good desk. Fine.
But in his mind, in his mind he can go on fantastic adventures. From behind his desk, Stanley dreamed of wild expeditions into the unknown, fantastic discoveries of new lands. It was wonderful. And each day that he returned to work was a reminder that none of it would ever happen to him. And so
Whoa,
he began to
the TV's gone.
fantasize about his own job. First, he imagined that one day while at work, he stepped up from his desk to realize that all of his co-workers, his boss, everyone in the building had suddenly vanished off the face of the earth. The thought excited him terribly. So he went further. He imagined that he came to 2 open doors and that he could go through either. At last, choice. It barely even mattered what lay behind each door.
This is bizarre,
Mere
but
thought
freaking
that
awesome.
his decisions would mean something was almost too wonderful to behold. As he wandered through this fantasy world, he began to fill it with many possible paths and destinations. Down one path lay an enormous round room with monitors and mind controls. And down another was a yellow line that weaved in many directions. And down another was a game with a baby. And he called it the Stanley Parable. It was such a wonderful fantasy, and so in his head he relived it again, and then again, and again, over and over, wishing beyond hope that it would never end, that he might always feel this free. Surely there's an answer down some new path, mustn't there be? Perhaps if he played just one more time.
But my wife's a mannequin.
But there is no answer. How could there possibly be? In reality, all he's doing is pushing the same buttons he always has. Nothing has changed. The longer he spends here, the more invested he gets, the more he forgets which life is the real one. And I'm trying to tell him this, that in this
This is
world
bizarre.
he can never be anything but an observer, that as long as he remains here, he's slowly killing himself. But he won't listen to me. He won't stop. Here, watch this. Stanley, the next time the screen asks you to push a button, do not do it.
Well, that's just not fair. I'm obeying the narrator or I'm obeying the command. No. I'm gonna sit here. Wait for the game to give me another prompt. I'm either obeying the screen or I'm obeying the narrator, and it does not matter. This is an existential quandary. I hate Mondays. Or 8 days. 8 days? I feel like I need to look at the rest of that mug. Okay, I've got days. Days to the nth power. I don't want to press G. But, oh, fine.
You see? Can he just not hear me?
Oh, you asshole.
How can I tell him in a way that he'll understand that every second he remains here, he's electing to kill himself? How can I get him to see what I see? How can I make him look at himself?
Are you talking to me directly, mister? I feel like he's talking directly to me. That's uncomfortable.
I suppose I can't. Not in the way I want him to. But I don't make the rules. I simply play to my intended purpose, the same as Stanley. We're not so different, I suppose. I'll try once more to convey all this to him. I'm compelled to. I must. Perhaps, well, maybe this time he'll see. Maybe this time. And I tried again.
Please die.
Stanley pushed a button. And I tried again. And Stanley pushed a button. And
What just happened? I'm beyond confused now.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
What the hell?
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Sure. I entered the door on my left. Why not? Where am I going now? Who even knows?
Yet there was not a single person here either.
Tips for not getting
Feeling
fired.
a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Somebody click the how to solve a dispute with a coworker. Let it pop inside. Using slides to ensure employees that everything is okay. Everyone is unique, you most of all. Yeah, sure. Sure. They actually all look the same. Number of slides on this slide. Slides, charts, charts, and slides. Rate it
Stanley
which charts
just
on
stood
the
there doing nothing at all.
I'm reading
He
the
seems to
freaking
think I have
PowerPoint.
nothing better to do with my time than to sit around and describe every fascinating little detail of his inability to do anything.
Rate of
This is why Stanley and I are on such good terms.
So the top 20 things you love most about your boss. Fill it in triplicate and return to your boss appreciation specialist. There's a specialist for that? What? Solving interpersonal conflict. Talk radio. Comatose. My hopes for the future. Comatose. Oh, did it just cycle? Does it cycle back? Is this what it is? Yep, it looks like it's a cycle. Okay. To do, synergize core value expenditures, shift global marketing parade, monetize free to play. That's amazing. I love this. Oh man. What do people want? Things. Is that happy feelings? Mike James, you are fired. Money, more money, things, but with money to buy more things. Graphs about things and money. We have our new product. What is hot? Bi-quarterly post review. We need hopeless reviews. We need more reviews. Less reviews. 402 plus 405. It's 807. Want to get rid of the death sport portion in the primary reviews. But I think it's a stupid idea. Stupid. We need more water coolers. What? Charts need to be more hip? Work hard. Okay, let's go. I could do this all day. And I might. Even after I finish recording this, because this is amazing.